Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's springtime and this is a great time to talk about being a victim. And the reason that I bring this up is because my mother-in-law is just playing a victim all the time. And I really wanted to share with you guys how it feels like from our side, from me and my Anya, my wife. My mother-in-law can come and then she always complains about the fact that she doesn't have
the energy to help with her grandkids.
Now, let me tell you something. My wife is an only child. Her father died when she was 12 years old. So the only relationship of family that my mother-in-law has in her life is to my wife and to the two grandkids. Now, she doesn't have a job anymore. She retired a long time ago. So she has all the time in the world. We are about 30 minutes away from her, and every time she comes, it's as if she needs the attention. She needs to feel like we're constantly grateful for her help and we can't do anything without her. Because she requires this type of energy, she's always playing
the victim.
And what do I mean? Bad things happen to her all the time. And I'm going to generalize this to all victimization situations. The ones that we pretend to be the victim and we don't really notice it. And sometimes other people, and we notice it, but we can't really explain it to them in the right way for them to understand. So I'll get to that in a minute. So what happens with her is that she constantly has these back pains, these emotional barriers that she can't break, a lot of things that she doesn't really understand. If we're talking about in the spiral dynamics, she will be somewhere in the blue kind of orange type of way. Everything is fine with my life, but I tend to get sick, but accidents happen to me all the time, but people don't really understand me and I'm still judging humanity and stuff like that. So with us, for example, last time that she was here, she went away. In the evening, she fell on her head. Ow! And then she called my wife and blamed her for her tiredness and the fact that she fell. And my wife had it up to here, like Anya had it up to here. She was like, listen, you don't have to come anymore. You don't have to do anything. You want to see your grandchildren? That's great, no problem. You don't have to help with them anymore, okay? And that kind of like puts the victim in a place that they see themselves in a mirror. And then they start understanding, wait a second, I can't get any more energy out of this situation. What the hell do I do now, right? It's a reflection for the highest truth. Wait a second, until now, what did I do? Wait, they don't need me anymore? Okay, what now? Do I volunteer? Do I do this out of the will of my heart? So this is a very complicated situation. When we play the victim, we usually want something, right? First, we don't want to take responsibility for the way that we are, which sucks because once we take responsibility, it means that we have to change ourselves and nobody really wants to change themselves, right? We want to stay exactly, our ego wants us to stay exactly where we are because change, we're kind of afraid of change. We don't want change, change perpetuates more awareness and growth. And for most people, it's really, they rather just stay where they are in that moment, you can say. Recognize the victim in yourself. Recognize the victim inside your relationships. When you're complaining about someone, when you're complaining about your sibling, your father, your mother, your past, you're playing the victim and you're not really taking responsibility. And the only way to step forward and move out of that situation, as hard as it may be, is to take responsibility and say, you know something? Maybe on a spiritual level, my destiny was to have this and this scenario, this and this situation, this and this relationships in my life in order for me to cultivate an understanding and grow out of it. Now, some of us lie to ourselves and we say, oh yeah, I've grown out of it, but we still play the victim. We still complain about the situation, about the person, about our life status, about money or whatever and stuff like that. And then we can't really take responsibility. When we take responsibility, we are looking at the solution and not focusing on the problem, because the problem will always repeat itself in a loop. But when we focus on the solution, we can start providing meaningful actions in our life in order to move forward and not step back and not stay in that loop, victim type of mentality that some of us have. Now, when you are dealing with somebody else that is playing the victim, you cannot mirror that quickly to them. You just can't, okay? It's very individual and it depends on where they are in their level of understanding. Some people will be offended, some people will immediately object the fact that you're raising something like that up, but you can find an alternative back door by keep asking them questions. How does it make you feel? What if this wouldn't happen in that way? What if you decided to change your perspective on that? Or these little things, that won't trigger that victimization mode, that you don't understand me, and this is the way that they are, and I can't change anything about myself. That's the victim that I'm talking about. So my friends, namaste, and thank you for watching me. If you like this video, like it, comment, and subscribe to my channel.